Yeah, I was telling Ed about this psychic that was reading some of her past lives. She says in one past life, she said that Curtis was this famous knight that was going off to fight in the Crusades, and I was like the 16-year-old kid that kind of idolized him, and I wanted to go fight with him, and he didn't want to take me because I was too young. And I pleaded with him, and he finally gave in and took me, and then I got killed. And she said he felt really bad about that, and she says he's felt a protective feeling about me ever since. And I turned to him and asked him, "Do you really feel kind of protective toward me?" And he says, "Well, yeah, kind of."
Well, yeah, because you're kind of vulnerable. Oh, anybody picks on you, I tell you what, I fight your battles.
But anyways, you give a couple pretty interesting past lives that I wasn't able to verify. But yeah, a lot of these psychics say I think you just use their imagination, and some of them kind of touch on Akashic records. But for a regular psychic, if they're in the astral, the Akashic records are like kaleidoscope a little bit, where the things are maybe accurate, but they're kind of mixed up, and they get two pieces that aren't related. So they have some things that are accurate and some things that are inaccurate. So yeah, Ed was just saying it takes a master to actually read somebody else's past lives, and that's part of the reason, I think, because Akashic records are very difficult to read accurately, and it takes pretty much a master to be able to do it. But well,
didn't Levi in the Aquarian Gospel, didn't he tap in the Akashic records when he wrote the book?
Yeah, he was one of the few that seemed to have some accuracy about him. I think that was pretty accurate what he came out with. I don't think it's infallible, but I think he got it pretty close.
Well, it's one of the most beautiful books ever written, and it certainly it's full of wisdom and what seems to be right on information when he talks about the different ages and Aquarius and the Christ principle and things.
Yeah, it's an underrated book too. A lot of people into metaphysics, or even into Christ, or even into alternative Christianity, have never read it. And matter of fact, they were going to make a movie about it a while back. I read a couple of years ago, but I guess it never materialized. That would make a really great movie about his life during the missing years.
Which book?
The Aquarian Gospel.
Oh.
Have you read that, Joshua?
No.
Oh yeah, you ought to read it. It's really a great book.
I think I've just heard some stories you've posted about it.
Yeah, I quote it every now and then, but yeah, the teachings in it are also quite in harmony with the Course in Miracles, which is, I find interesting. And
well, the interesting part is that there is one truth, and it comes through many sources, many windows, and sometimes the windows are colored differently.
yeah, have you read the Aquarian Gospel, Ed?
I don't believe I have. I think that I may have the book because my mother had it. I've got so many, I don't know.
Yeah, there's free digital copies on the web. Just Google Aquarian Gospel, and there's a couple places that have the full text available there.
I gave away a copy at the last gathering, along with a couple sets of the life and teachings, and whoever got it kept thanking me over and over. I can't remember who it was. Kept thanking me because he'd been looking for this book. So I don't know how hard it is to find.
Okay, well, it looks like, speaking of Course in Miracles, I saw Marissa here. Are you there, Marissa?
Yes, hi.
Hi.
I just joined.
Do it. Can we have video of you to see your lovely face?
Yes.
Oh, there
And
you are. Now you're in a car accident. Tell us what happened and how you're doing.
Yes, I was in a car accident in Mexico, and I was in a trip there
Mexico?
with,
Wow, what a
yes.
place to have an accident. Wow.
Yeah, it's a scary place to have an accident at.
Yeah, you
No
might
good place.
if you get charged with something down there, you be in prison for a while.
Exactly. We were worried about that because we were on the highway. It was night, and we kind of swirled to avoid an animal, and we got hit by the car behind. But thankfully, no cops showed up.
Oh,
And
really? Good.
yes,
Did
but
it total your car?
yes, it was a rental car though.
A rental
It did
car?
have insurance. So yeah, it was quite the experience. And I've just been going through physical therapy, recovering slowly but surely.
Well, good. Well, you're looking good anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, welcome to visiting the group here. And we put out an invitation to the Keys. I haven't seen anybody show up yet. Let's see if anyone has showed up that we don't know outside of Marissa. No, just the regulars here. Okay, let's go.
Liesel's here.
Oh, Liesel, good. Where are you at, Liesel? There she is.
Hi.
Oh, I noticed
Hi, Liesel.
you put in a new what, your sister's husband to be a member of the molecular group. Okay,
Yeah.
what we like is for them to request membership so we know for sure that they're interested.
Yeah,
So
I'll have him do
have
that.
him just send me an email
Okay.
telling me express an interest that he wants to join. And since he's already read some of the molecular book and everything, he
Yeah.
should be good to go. And there's old Nickster. How you doing, Nick?
Oh, coughing a bit, but I'm doing pretty well.
Oh, good. Let's see who else is here. Good old Terry is here. Staying healthy over there in Nigeria where nobody's getting infected hardly.
Yes, we are still here, very much kicking.
Robin and Dave is here. Good to see you guys. Been watching much football?
Not too much, whatever they give us on TV, and it's been bad this year.
Is there anybody you're rooting to win the Super Bowl or get in there?
I just want good teams in there. I mostly want a good game, but I'd root for Dolphins at this point.
Just not Tom Brady.
How can you not like Tom Brady when he's
It's all you hear about.
He's had his share of the pie.
he's just overexposed, I guess.
Yeah.
And good old Tyler is here. Now Tyler asked an interesting question that I may not give a satisfactory answer to. He talked about like the song of the 144,000, how a song or how something would be different from one age to another where the languages change. But in the spiritual spheres, there is no language. You think like when you die, you maybe had 100 or 1,000, up to 1,000 past lives. You've spoken all kinds of different languages. In the kingdom of the souls, or what language do you think you'd be speaking there?
Language of the soul.
Right, it's a
Do you
universe.
even use words? I mean, I have no idea.
Yeah, it wouldn't be words as we know it. It's you might best describe it as just we read each other's minds, and you can tell what they're thinking because thought is in symbols, and symbols entering the mind, the right symbols is like a universal language. So any any song that's sang there would be and something people from any language could understand. So you could have like a group of 100 people in the afterlife getting together to sing a song. They may have experience in 100 different languages, but they would all speak the same language of thought there. So that's kind of interesting point that you brought up last week.
Oh,
Okay.
when someone speaks from spirit, they speak in the language of the people that are listening.
Yeah, if you get a visitation from somebody from the spiritual realm, they'll either speak by mental telepathy or they'll speak in your own language, just depending on what you're open to. Like a lot of people who receive messages from the other side and they've heard it in English, or if they're French, they'll hear it in French, or it'll just come like they understand what it is, but it was no language, but they just understood it. And so there's different levels of understanding there. And Godmother, I'm glad to see you coming regularly. It sounds like you've been making some progress.
Yeah, I'm practicing focus attention as we speak.
And good old Annie and Denmark. They say the virus is giving you some more problems over there. Is that right?
That's true. It's on the rise.
Are they cracking down on restrictions there now?
Yeah, we have some restrictions now, not too bad. They're not closing everything, but it's step by step. They're stepping it up at the moment. So I'll expect it to be pretty bad after Christmas.
Yeah, it's amazing how it's the same all around the world. All these authorities are looking for ways to increase their power to control everybody. And good old Kenny and is here, and Adam. What you been up to, Adam?
Gosh, work's pretty busy right now. So,
Oh, is it?
yeah.
How's your company doing?
Doing well. We got some customers, and so we're just trying to build out the tenant space, and there's a lot that goes into that.
Are you
So, yeah.
are you up there in the hierarchy there and the company?
Oh, I don't. It's a pretty flat organization, but I was one of 7 that started out. We've grown to about 20, 21 people now.
Oh, okay.
So,
not real big, but growing, huh?
yeah, it'll get big fast the more customers we take on. But in the beginning, yeah, just mostly, major positions.
Oh, good. And good old Johan is here from Iceland, and Mindy from Illinois. I understand there was some tornadoes around your direction. Mindy, did you have a problem with them?
They were south of us, southern
Oh.
Illinois and Kentucky in that area.
Must be that good, clean living you earned to protect you. Oh, good. And Rulina and Thomas. Good to see you again, Thomas. Well, let's get back to Marissa. Does anyone have any questions for Marissa since she's new?
Is that really how you say your name, or is he mispronouncing it? Because JJ has a tendency to just say people's names in ways that nobody has ever heard before. So.
Well,
yeah.
But lived in the US for almost 20 years. So 20 years people have been mispronouncing my name. So I'm used to being called Marissa, but it's Marisa.
Marisa? Okay, you got to roll the R a little bit to get it right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that or not, but I'll try.
Marisa, okay.
Now I met Marisa on at Course in Miracles group, and she was one of the ones that gave me a positive like when I said something about Donald Trump, because normally you get a lot of bad flack if you say anything about him, you know. So I thought, well, she's got to be pretty open-minded then. So I had sent her a friend request and we had some conversations. She seemed like a really nice gal that's on the quest for higher knowledge. And are you into anything else besides Course in Miracles, or is that your main study, or what's your pursuit there?
That's my main study. But I am working on, I want to change my career path. I've worked in corporate for a long time, and I want to move to something different. So I've been studying Qigong, energy healing.
Oh yeah, I read a book on that. That's it was pretty interesting. I was thinking of looking into that a little bit more myself.
Yes, it's very interesting. So I've been taking some classes and training on that. I also work with an astrologer, so I'm also into astrology.
Oh, okay.
Very interesting to me, and well, I have a lot of interest in the esoteric in general.
Oh, okay, good.
But I would say definitely A Course in Miracles is kind of like the base and I think the most direct path, if you would.
Yeah. Have you ever read any L.S.A. Bailey?
No.
Yeah, that's a one that we put quite a bit of emphasis on here too. And it's quite a bit in harmony with Course in Miracles, but the language is just a lot different. And what's funny about different teachers, you know, one thing the Course in Miracles says, it says there's many different paths you can take besides the Course in Miracles. And a lot of Course in Miracles students kind of act like the Course in Miracles is the only thing there is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found enlightenment in a lot of different areas myself. And Course in Miracles, I think, is one of the best. But so we pursued quite a few different things here. And okay, as long as we got you here, has anybody got any questions for her?
I wouldn't mind knowing where you live, what state you live in.
Oh, I live in Michigan.
Oh, yes. Good football teams. All right. Good job, JJ. She's definitely welcome. I got Packers and Wolverines. And Gudmundur, I was wondering if we couldn't hear your name pronounced properly.
It's
Say it again. Whoa, who? Oh, Gudmundsson. Yeah, say it. I'm sure I massacre your name whenever I say it.
It's Gudmundur.
Really? Wow, I don't know if I can duplicate that or not. Now you said, what was it? What was your nickname you told us to call you?
A middle name in English.
Oh, you had another nickname. What was it? It was like
Ace.
only 3-letter Ace. That was it. Yeah, Ace.
That's my middle name in English.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I ought to just call you Ace because I can't really mispronounce that one.
Yeah, just call me whatever you're more comfortable with.
Hey, you.
Boy, there's something I'd never say because I know I'd get some nasty ones.
Yeah. Now, Terry's got an unusual last name. How do you pronounce your last name, Terry?
It's called Ahsoka.
Oh, Ahsoka. I probably wouldn't have got that right. Yeah. Now,
There's a character in Star Wars called Ahsoka Tano, and I think it's spelled the same and it sounds the same.
Yes, you're right.
Okay, any other questions for Marisa? Marisa, we kind of interrogate new people when they come on, so
No problem. It's nice to meet you all.
Curtis always has a question. Curtis, what's your question?
Yeah, how far are you from Nagami?
From where?
Nagami, Michigan?
Nagami. Oh, I don't know that place. but I live on the east side of Michigan, southeast.
Okay. Well, where have you traveled? Have you done some world traveling?
We know she's
Yeah.
been in Mexico.
Mexico?
Definitely I've been to about 23 countries.
Wow.
23 countries?
Yes, mostly in Europe. When I was younger, I used to go there quite a bit. I backpacked there, went to family trips there, and a few other countries in America, Australia, yeah, that's about the continents I've been to.
Well,
Tell us about an experience and a scary experience you had in all your travels. Anything that stands out that was challenging?
Yes, I traveled when I was 16 to Europe, and I was traveling alone, and I got there, and for some reason I couldn't get cash out of my ATM, and I was supposed to meet my family that was traveling from Mexico at a certain city at a certain time, and I didn't have money to get there. And I didn't speak the language, so I had to ask for money for people in English and explain to them that I was in a bad place. And then finally I was able to get a phone card and a ticket, but it was pretty frightening. That one and of course the accident in Mexico.
Wow.
Wow, that'd be
that was a
scary.
bummer. That was 2 incidents that was kind of hairy then.
Yes.
Did you just travel completely on your own initiative then, or was anything involving work or job related?
Most of the places I visited have been just for tourism, but I did work as a consultant for PricewaterhouseCoopers for a couple of years. So I did go to a couple of places for work as well.
What do you do now for a job?
I don't work for them anymore. I work for the utility company in Michigan.
Oh,
it's called
okay.
ETE.
What do you
Yes,
do? What do you do there?
I'm a manager of operations.
Oh, okay. Well, good for you. Yeah.
Yes, I mean it's a good company, but like I said, I do have an interest in making a big career switch,
Okay.
and moving into something more to service of others, like helping them heal, for example.
Okay. Now, one of the main purposes of this group is different than probably anything you've read before. It's to accept it is in harmony with the Course in Miracles. Remember, the Course in Miracles talks about joining and sharing and creating. That it says if even 2 people are able to join and be one, unlimited power will be created. And then when Jesus was here, he said, where 2 or 3 people gather in my name, there am I in the midst of them. And the molecular relationship is a relationship that will duplicate what Jesus did with the 12 apostles. And one of the things we teach, there weren't just 12 men, but there were also 12 women. And what Jesus did was he was like a divine chemist, and he put together what we call a molecule. And among the atoms, atomic world, the atoms join together and they create molecules, and the molecules have different properties, advanced properties from the atoms. But the atoms, even though they're apart, they still have their own identity. You take two atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of oxygen. Hydrogen and oxygen separately created the rocket fuel that sent men to the moon, but you put them together to create water, you get the most stable substance on the planet, just about. So, but water is entirely different than hydrogen or oxygen. And so what Jesus did with the 12 units, because a male and female in the group produces 1 unit of energy. He joined these people together, so they were like one greater life. And the life had properties that the individuals by themselves do not have. So to create this one life, it takes a merging that is on a very spiritual level, where the personality has to be overlooked. And in Course in Miracles language, each of us has to see the innocent Son of God and everybody else at one time, to make this unity, this greater life manifest. And so anyway, that's the purpose of this group. Does that sound interesting to you?
Yeah, and thank you so much for the invite and reaching out.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, thanks. Yeah, we're very selective who we invite in here, because not everybody is. A lot of people are just into personal advancement for their own causes, and that's not what we're about. We're about trying to create something greater than ourselves. And so anyway, we're glad you came up, and I got a good vibe from you, and so we're glad you're here.
me too.
Okay, any other questions before we move on?
Well,
What's your
yeah,
favorite color?
have you had an experience of enlightenment where you were on your quest for search for greater light, and you had a spiritual experience with an aha, and it awakened you?
Yes. Well, I think my path started when I had a big car accident, another one 3 years ago.
Wow, you gotta start driving more careful.
Yeah, the last one I wasn't driving, but that one I was driving.
Oh yeah.
And I had a lot of chronic pain after that. I had surgeries and no medicine was working for me. So I was trying everything, CBD and all kinds of different natural paths. So I did ayahuasca. So I had about 4 ayahuasca ceremonies, and that was definitely very mind-blowing. Definitely opened my mind. And I think between that and just my personal path to find peace in life is what led me to, I suppose, where I'm at now. But definitely ayahuasca was the most experience.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I think she'll fit right in, Joe. I think she'll fit right in.
Yeah, I think she will. Yeah.
What's your favorite color, Marisa?
Purple.
Nice, me too.
Really deep question there, Joe.
Nice.
Okay. Well, normally we have we talk about molecular business, have a meditation, and then a class. But this time we're going to do something different. We're going to have a past life regression, which I've never done for a group on Zoom before. We've done quite a number of them in person when we get together. But so this ought to be a fun little experiment to see how it goes. First of all, we'll just do our standard meditation, and then we'll see about going into past lives. And Marisa, we do what was called the Song of the 144,000 at the beginning of most meditations. Also, we use the Great Invocation quite a bit, but since you haven't done it before, you can just follow along. And oh, I see Scott's logo up there. Scott, you got anything to say before we begin?
Oh, we don't have time today, but at some point in time, I'd like to hear about Marisa's experiences with those 4 ayahuasca. Yeah. That is interesting to me. Not today, but at some point I'd like to.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. I'll put Scott on mute there. There's some noise in the background there. Okay, everybody make sure they're muted and we'll start our meditation and go. Then we'll continue on to the past lives. Oh. We use the Om to neutralize all negativity so that only pure spirit remains. Om. Om, 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 om. We thank you, Father, that you have revealed to us your protective universal light. That within this light is complete protection from all destructive forces. That the Holy Spirit of your presence permeates us in this light. And wherever we will, the light to descend. Close your eyes. See a point of light increasing in your forehead till your forehead is full of light. See the light increasing until your whole body is filled with light. See us all in a circle, joined together. And see the light within you increasing until your aura is radiating with light. See the light blending to the person on your right and on your left until the whole group is filled with light. We thank you, Father, that you fill us with your protective fires of love, that within this love is complete protection from all destructive thoughts and feelings, that the consciousness of Christ is lifted up in us in this love, and wherever we will, the love to be inflamed. Feel the love generated in your heart, filling your whole being. Sense the love of the person on your right and on your left, and for the whole group. Radiating out to the entire world. We thank you, Father, that you're in us and we are in you. That through us your will is sent forth on wings of power. That your purpose is accomplished on earth as it is in heaven. That through us your light and love and power is manifest to all the sons and daughters of mankind. Oh. in the center of our circle is a point of light, a greater light manifesting within the light in the circle itself. It's increasing. And within this light is appearing the Master, the Christ, standing in the center of the circle. He comes to you. He lays his right hand on your head. And he says, by the power of the Most High, I give you unlimited blessings. Feel his hand on your head. And in a moment of silence, sense yourself receiving these blessings. You're receiving the things that you need the most. And you hear a voice within yourself saying, is there anything else I can do for you? Have a conversation with this voice. Is there anything else I can do for you? What is your response? Continue to feel the hand on your head and hear the voice saying, be in peace. And he retreats into the point of light. But you feel the presence remaining linked to the Christ. The Christ in you linked to the Christ who is our master. Amen. Okay, we'll take a short break before we do our past life regression. It looks like we have a new person here. William, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, actually, I'm Jade Henderson Woodruff.
Okay. Well, good. Glad to have you.
Yes, I'm trying to get my laptop signed in. I'm calling in from the phone.
And I take it you are interested in joining the molecular group then, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, good. Well, we're
I'm getting feedback from someone.
Yeah. See if anyone else joined late here. Rain is with us. How you doing, Rain?
I'm good.
Okay. And okay, anyone have any comments on the meditation before we move on? Since it's we're going to be doing a past life thing here, is there any questions about reincarnation or past life regression before we begin the process?
Yeah, JJ, this is William. Do you have something that can explain that a little more in, I guess, explain past life a little more in detail? Because I'm a skeptic on it somewhat. So
Well, I'll tell you an interesting story about how one of the first things that led me to take it seriously. Okay, when you're not talking, make sure you're on mute, everybody. When I started experimenting with hypnosis when I was just 16. And I believed in reincarnation when I was young, before I got active in the Mormon church. I got active in the Mormon church when I was about 13, and I actually believed in reincarnation. I remember thinking when I was a kid, that if you died when you were young, you would just miss out on a lot of stuff, and it just didn't seem fair. And I thought, well, and then a neighbor came and visited my mom and told her about, she was reading this book about Search for Bridie Murphy. And I thought, and it was about her past lives. And I thought, well, that's it. That makes a lot of sense. And so I believed in reincarnation. And I started going to the Mormon church, becoming active. My parents were inactive Mormons. My dad was pretty anti-religious. He didn't like religion at all. He always said there's a hair's breadth of difference between a religious guy and a cook. And so I didn't grow up with a strong religious influence, but I got interested in it when I was about 13. And the bishop calls me in one day and he says, I hear you believe in reincarnation. I must have told somebody and that somehow reached him. I said, yeah, is there a problem? He said, well, yeah, it's a doctrine of the devil. I said, really? He says, I said, is there anything in the scriptures about it? And he says, well, yeah, it says right here in Hebrews, there's only one life. And after this, the judgment, I read it over and I said, well, it does seem to say that all right. So I kind of accepted it. And then I got into hypnosis and when I was about 16, I used to take people out on the lawn during the lunch hour and hypnotize people and would do some crazy stuff. And, I got lectured on that too by both my teachers and my bishop. Bishop calls me in and he says, here you're taking kids in empty classrooms in the church and hypnotizing them. I says, yeah. is there a problem? And he says, we don't want you to do that. I says, is there anything in the scriptures that says I can't do it? And he says, well, I don't think hypnosis is mentioned in the scriptures. I says, does the prophet say I can't do it? And he says, well, prophet hasn't said anything about it. I says, well, I guess I'll keep doing it then. And so anyway, after I did this for a while, it was me and my friend Wayne from the book was on a date, and we decided to hypnotize our dates. So I hypnotized my date, and I thought, well, I'll take her back to. I experimented with taking people back to the day that they're born. And so I took her back to the day that she was born. And I had got some interesting feedback from that. People, for instance, right after a baby's born, it has to actually learn to see. It takes a few days before it can actually learn to see. And they can sense their mother's love. And like there are several things that everybody said that were the same. So I took her back. She was actually the second one, but I took her back, and before she was born, and I served on a mission in England, northern England, and they have a particular accent there that's different than southern England. And she lived a life in a northern part of England where I had actually lived for about 6 months. Okay, and I knew the accent, but she spoke in the perfect North British accent when she went back there, and I thought, wow, that's pretty darn impressive. So that kind of impressed me. But the very first time I took somebody back to a past life, I was at a party. Some Mormon members were given, and at the party, it was kind of boring. People were, it was just kind of a get together, and nothing much was happening. So I says, well, if you guys want some entertainment, I know how to take people back to the day that they were born. And so the gal that was hosting the party volunteered. She said, well, yeah, I'm game. So she sat in a chair, and while she was sitting in a chair, her husband had to go out for potato chips and stuff for everybody. So he took off while I was doing this. And I took her back to the day that she was born. And then but this was the first time I did a regression. And then now Mormons do believe in pre-existent life, but they think the pre-existent life is just with God. They don't accept reincarnation at all. And so I thought, well, I believed in a pre-existence. So I thought, well, I'm going to see if I can take her back to the pre-existence. So I told her to go back before she was born. And she went back to the days of the Roman Empire. And she was married, she said, to a Roman senator named Marcus Aurelius, not the famous one, but a guy that was apparently named after him. And she said he was a Roman senator, and he was eventually went to battle, and he was killed in a war. And then I took her back to another life, and it was ancient times, and it was like back in really primitive cavemen-like situation. And then she went to a third one back to the time of the Civil War. And then I took her back to the present, and everybody was, their jaws kind of dropped because they didn't believe in reincarnation. But then her husband comes back in, and he didn't hear anything that was said because he was out getting potato chips and dipping stuff for everybody. And when he comes through the door, everybody in the group says, take him back. I says, Okay, so he sat in a chair and I took him back. And I says, okay, what is your name? And he says, my name is Marcus Aurelius, a Roman senator. And you should have seen everybody in the room. I mean, their jaws just dropped because he didn't know anything that she said. And he said he was killed in battle, give the same details that his wife gave. And then I took him back farther, and he went back to the days of the caveman, and they were mates back then also. He wasn't her mate during the Civil War, though. They weren't together in that particular life. But so anyway, everybody was really impressed, and several says, boy, my testimony's shaken. And I was trying to calm everybody down. I said, well, there's a number of explanations for this, maybe racial memory or something like that. And so I was trying to rationalize it. And it took several incidents like this to really convince me. And when I finally did see the light, it was when I actually proved it to myself. I had to rethink everything that I believed, because if you're in a standard religion and then come to the conclusion there's reincarnation, you have to reformulate your whole belief system. And so this happened to me. And then after this, I decided, well, if there's reincarnation, then it should be verified in the scriptures. And so I started reading all the Bible all over again, including all the Mormon scriptures. And I saw evidence for reincarnation everywhere. Matter of fact, I've written a couple of books and articles on reincarnation, proving it from the scriptures. And it's amazing the amount of proof that's actually in there. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense that it doesn't make never made any sense to me when I was a kid, that you just have one life, because there's so small amount of everything that you can do in one life as far as what you can learn. It takes many lifetimes to learn everything that we have to learn, and many of us have had lifetimes on other planets besides the Earth also.
Yeah, that's, I'm great. Thank you for answering that too, because I am a firm believer in that if we want to know truth, we have to be willing to let go of what we know to be true, because yeah, so I'm open-minded and I want to learn. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah, and when you're in a strong religion, it's very hard to let go of the thought form that you glom onto there. And a number of people here have been in religions with strong thought forms. Several have never been under that captivation, which gives them somewhat of advantage. But when you're caught in that strong thought form and then you escape from it, it's also something that gives you a really nice shot in the arm, because it kind of really opens you up to everything. You at the point when somebody tells you something that sounds crazy, you still think, well, there's still a chance I might be true. I'll think about it. For instance, flat Earth people got really popular a while back. I thought, well, one chance in a billion this could be right, but I'll check into all the data. So I looked at all their videos and everything, and none of them made any sense. But I at least checked into it to see what their argument was. And so that's what the seeker has to do, not discount anything before you look into it and find out what their reasoning is behind it.
JJ, speaking of looking into things and the reasoning behind it, do you want to maybe go into that quote from the Bible that the bishop showed you and the meaning there?
Actually, we're running a little bit behind, so if we're going to do this past life regression, it's in my book article called Mormonism and the Bible and Reincarnation, and also Mormonism and Reincarnation. I explain that scripture from Hebrews in quite a bit of detail. And it turns out to mean something the opposite of what everybody thinks. It says, after is given one life, and after this, the judgment. And the word judgment is actually a Greek word that could be interpreted as reincarnation, which is quite fascinating. So it turns out this scripture means the opposite of what everybody thinks it means. But okay, any other short questions before we move on to the regression? Or comments? Okay, my friends, we will move on. Everybody relax in your chairs. Just relax as much as possible. Close your eyes. And the key to getting in a state to where you can view your past lives is to transcend the body. So first of all, we just relax the body completely. So it's just like the body is like fading away almost, or like floating on a cloud. See a beam of light striking the fingers of your right hand, moving up your arm, producing a nice warm feeling, relaxing all the muscles in your right arm clear up to your shoulder. Your right arm is completely relaxed. Now the beam of light is on your left hand, moving up your arm, relaxing all the muscles in both arms are completely relaxed. Now the beam of light is on your toes, on your right foot, moving up your leg, relaxing all the muscles in your leg. Now the beam of light is on your toes of your left foot, moving up, relaxing all the muscles in your left leg. All the muscles in your arms and legs are completely relaxed. Now the beam of light is on your head, relaxing all the muscles in your face, around your eyes, your cheeks, down through your neck, your chest, your tummy. All your body is completely relaxed. Feel like you're like floating in warm water, just floating completely relaxed, in a state of total relaxation. And as you enter the state of total relaxation, you feel yourself going very deeply into a state of meditation. Deeper and deeper into a wonderful, peaceful state. You feel yourself floating above your body, floating up, and you find a cloud. And you lay on that cloud, and that cloud's moving around very gently. And you're moving with the cloud. You're actually laying on top of this wonderful cloud, just moving around, looking at the scenery. You come to a lake, a beautiful lake. The cloud moves over the lake. It's so peaceful, so relaxed. You look up at the sky, you see the moon. You see stars beyond the moon. You feel very peaceful, very relaxed. As you're on this cloud, you're entering into a deeper state, deeper and deeper into meditative state, deeper and deeper, listening to my voice. Feels very comfortable, very peaceful, deeper and deeper. You're entering a very deep state where all things are possible. You can see anything you want to see. As you're laying on this cloud, looking at the sky, you see what looks like a large television screen that is controlled by your mind. Look up at this screen and you see a memory from your childhood playing out. I'm going to count to 3 and you're going to see it very clearly. Something from your childhood you're going to see on this screen. 1, it's manifesting. 2, becoming clearer. 3, review this portion of your life from your childhood. Watch it happening on the screen. Now, center yourself on your consciousness, and your consciousness goes into the screen, and you're back there as a child. You're reliving this experience. See the people that you were around, see the circumstances, the buildings, the people, the scenery. See it. Relive this as if you were really there. Now your consciousness is back on the cloud. And you're looking at the screen again. You're seeing other images form. And we're going to go back to a past life. We're going to count to 10, and on the count of 10, you will see images form in the screen from a past life. 1. You're going deeper. Deeper. Everything is clear. 2. 3. Look at the images. Look at the screen. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The past life is becoming clearer. 9, 10. You're seeing images from a past life. Your consciousness is now going to enter the screen and be there. You will feel what you felt then, see what you saw then, and identify with what you were then. You're going into the screen. On the count of 3, you will be there. 1, 2, 3. You're back in the past. You know your name. Think. You know who you loved. And things that you did. A significant part of this life is coming to your memory, to your consciousness. You're back there. It's if you are really there. You see an important time. You see the buildings, the people, your friends, people who you loved or hated, people you worked with. And you see someone from your current life that you knew back in this life. Who is it? I'm going to count to 3, and an impression will come to you as to the main lesson that you learned in this life. 1, it's coming. 2, clear. 3, what was your main lesson in this life? Now we're returning back to the cloud. You're looking at the screen again, completely relaxed. And you're going back to a second life, farther back in time. I'm going to count to 3. And things will become even clearer. You will go even deeper. And you'll see images from another life appear on the screen. 1. Beginning to see them. 2. Becoming clearer. 3. You see them very clearly now. It's another lifetime. Your consciousness is moving again into the screen, into that life. You are there. You see what you saw then. You feel what you felt then. You can even smell or taste what you did then. Everything seems so real. Who are you? What is your name? Who are people, or maybe there's a special person you loved, or several. They're coming to mind. Someone you know, and the current life was back with you then. Who was it? What was your relationship? You're back at an important point in this life, as if you're really there. Your consciousness is there. What is happening? What are you doing? Look around. What time period does this seem to be? What are the buildings like? What did you do for a living? What was the main lesson you learned from this life? Contemplate that for a second, for a few seconds. Now you have power to review your entire life, clear up to the time that you died. You can watch it as if you're an observer. If there's any pain or distress, it will not affect you. But you can see any part of this life that you want. Review it from beginning to end. It's like doing your own life review. Okay, I'm going to count to 3. And we will return to the present time. Feeling very peaceful and well. 1, 2, 3. One thing I find when I do this, so a number of people say they go back and, but it was kind of a private experience, so they don't want to share, and other people don't mind sharing. But does anyone have any thing they want to share? Volunteer.
I cannot tell if my impressions are really accurate or not. Can't really tell if they are colored or biased by my own thinking and images from this lifetime.
Yeah. Did you get some impressions on your past life?
Yeah. No, not all the details that you mentioned and instructed, but I was apparently a woman in ancient Rome, a married woman.
Yeah.
And the name Maya came to me.
Okay.
You know, because I've been thinking about Maya and connection to smoking.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Well, that's the thing when you go back the first time, you people wonder, was I imagining or did I really go back? And for some, it's a lot more real than others. And so that's interesting. Did you get a second life?
Yeah. As soon as I mentioned that, I just heard gunshots from machine guns, like in a war or something.
Yeah.
Probably World War I.
Oh, really?
Rather than 2, because it's farther back.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. Anybody else have anything interesting? Scott, did you get any impression?
Yeah, I would just like the previous gentleman. I couldn't tell if my mind was following your instructions or if it was just if I was daydreaming. I couldn't tell if if it was real or not. But the first life, it just I was on a dock and there were ships there. It looked like it was about the 1800s, but I didn't get anything on my name or my life purpose or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then on the second one, it looked like I was much farther back, and it looked like I just briefly touched in clarity and then came back out and everything was foggy, and so I couldn't really, it looked like it was in maybe 200 or 300 BC, and I was just walking down a street and there were buildings on each side, but the name Aramis came to me, and but I didn't get, and my lesson on that one was discipline. That's the word that came to my mind. So,
Okay. Good. Good. Well, thanks for your comments. Okay. Anybody else want to relate anything?
Can you hear me, JJ?
Yeah.
This is William again. My laptop shut off during our right when I was getting into deep relaxation, but I
Oh, that's
turned on
too
the
bad.
phone. I got relaxed again, and again, it almost not as much for me, but I know during the first one, the name Hector, when you asked what my name was, and then there was Hector, yeah, and then there was a Vanessa that was in there with me that I had a deep love for.
Oh, okay. So you were able to go back even with the interruption there, no?
Yeah, so I was already relaxed, so I got back on it and then just started to, just follow and get back into that state of relaxation again. And then I know the person, Vanessa, who she was, but I'll move on to the next one. The next one, it seems like my oldest son and I were a part of something maybe during, I would say 18, 17, late 17 to early 18.
Yeah.
To where we were, I think we were outlaws or something because we were hiding. And then the lesson from that was work. If you want the things in life, you have to work. You have to make an effort, an honest effort.
Yeah.
And
okay.
That's the thoughts that came to my mind. I'm not sure if it was just my mind wandering or, but I'm sharing.
Okay. Well, great. Since you were a skeptic, it's good that you had some saw a few things, and that's good. Now I've taken a rain back a number of times. Did you have any new experiences, Rain?
Yeah, I did.
Want to relate anything?
I'll relate one from my childhood. When you took us back to our childhood to remember a day. I remember going to Six Flags, and I was about 8 or 9 years old. And I was absolutely miserable because I wanted to enjoy it. I wanted to be free to be a kid, but I wasn't allowed to be. I had to be good. I couldn't be overly excited. I couldn't jump around. I couldn't be loud or squeal or any of that stuff. I had to be good. I had to rein it in. I had to control it. I had to control myself and be something and the feeling was that I'm not loved for who I am because I can't be who I am. I'm loved when I behave a certain way.
Do you feel this experience kind of shaped some of your thinking in life?
Yeah, I do.
So
do.
do you feel it was an important thing for you to revisit them?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Okay. Did you go back to any life you haven't been back to before?
No, just the same ones.
Did you learn anything new?
No.
At least you learned something new from your childhood then. I got a new impression. So that's good. Okay. Anybody else want to relate anything?
This was my first ever past life regression.
What's say?
This was my first ever.
Oh, your first, huh? Oh, okay. Oh, I was talking to Ed earlier. He's been in metaphysics all his life, but he said he hadn't been in a past life series. Did you have any experience there, Ed?
Well, I began to see things from my childhood, but when we were talking about past lives, my shoulder has been bothering me because I lifted some tires I was changing here this week, and so I didn't have anything clear about past life, just things that came to mind that other people had told me, but that's nothing new.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Kenny, did you have any impressions that you want to share?
Okay, let's see. When we started, when I went to childhood, I don't know if it was my imagination or not, but I was about 9 or 10 years old, and I remember smashing my finger with a hammer trying to nail some boards or something, climbing trees and stuff. But so then when we went back to the further back, I didn't get a sense of who I was, and I started to hear a name, but all I could tell of a woman, someone that I knew close to, and the name started with VEL, and then that's all I got.
Oh, okay.
So then when we went further back, I don't know when it was or where it was, but I think it was close to either a big lake or a sea. And I got the name Clarence.
Clarence, huh?
I don't know if I imagined it or what, but that's just what came to me. And then the word Juliana.
Okay.
And then a child named Robbie.
Oh.
So.
At least you got a few things there.
Yeah, I don't know if, this is the first time I've done this too, so I wasn't sure if I imagined it or
Yeah, you haven't been able to make it to the gathering since you're so far away. They're in paradise down over there on the other side of the world. And so we're glad you're able to participate today.
Yeah, thanks.
And Marisa, did you get, what kind of impressions did you get?
Yeah, I think similarly as others, I wasn't sure if I was making things up. I had a childhood memory that I have reoccurring where I'm crawling on my parents' backyard, but that's about it. And for the regressions, both of them, I've seen them in a dream. So I wasn't sure if I was like just remembering the dream or what was going on. But in the first part, I was a woman, and it seemed like it was maybe 1800s, kind of like Wild West type of situation. And I thought my current dad was my son then. And he died in that lifetime.
Oh.
So it felt like it was a lesson about learning to not attach too much. And the second one, I was a bit interrupted here, but I have recurring dreams of flooding, different kinds of flooding. So I was back again in a big flood with huge buildings moving in a big river. It was really strange. So I'm not sure if that was just remembering a dream or.
Well, it could be both, because oftentimes past life memories show up in dreams. So
Yeah, I've had dreams about water, oceans, and I have some fear there, and throughout my life I have recurring dreams about that. Huge
yeah,
waves.
if you have any fears that just don't make any sense, are often related to something happened from a past life. Like if people drowned or something like that, they may have a fear of water in this life, just for instance. So you just never know. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for your account there. Okay, anybody else have anything they want to share? See, is William still here with us? Oh, we must have lost the guy.
No, I'm here. Sorry, I shut off my earphones and I'm listening in on Jade's phone right now.
Okay, is your connection secure right now?
I think so. Why is that?
Well, if you we'll take you back as an individual if you want, and we can probably get some more details if you're game.
Do you want to do that right now?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second. I have to. I'll have to go. Yeah, give me a second here, JJ. I was helping do some stuff for our dinner tonight. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me get relaxed here.
Yeah, just get comfortable. Is your connection seem secure?
It seems, yeah, we have. I think we have a secure connection.
Okay.
Are you?
Okay. Tell me when you're ready. Are you ready? Hello?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to mute myself. I was having a profound conversation with you and you missed it. Sorry. Just kidding.
Okay, are you ready then?
I am.
Yeah, make sure you're unmuted and everybody else needs to be on mute. We don't want any noise outside of William. Okay, are you ready, William? Are you comfortable?
I'm comfortable.
Okay. Okay, now just we're just going to focus on William. So William, listen to my voice. I'm going to count to 3. And on the count of 3, you will be in the same state you were last time. You're going very deeply into a meditative state. 1, you're going deeper. 2, deeper still. 3, you're back to where you were before. But now you're going deeper still. We're going to count to 3 again. And you're going deeper and deeper. 1, 2, deeper. 3, very deeply into a meditative state. Very peaceful. You're listening only to my voice. If we get disconnected or anything happens, you will return to your normal consciousness in peace. You're going deeper and deeper and deeper. You're returning to a past life. You will see as you saw then, hear as you saw then, heard then, and you will feel like you felt then. You're back there. Look around. You can see anything in this life that you want. You're back at a certain point in this life. Who are you?
Hector.
What are you doing? What is happening?
Can't quite focus.
It's not clear yet.
It's not clear.
What impressions do you get about this life?
Ultimate love.
Look around. What kind of scenery do you see?
Looks like the desert.
What is happening?
I think we live here.
What time period are you in?
It's hard to tell.
Okay. Do you know what country you're in?
I think I'm in Mexico.
Okay, very good. I'll return you to the present, and you will have a clear memory, and more memories will come. When you go to sleep tonight, give yourself a suggestion that you will dream about this life. Bring you back to the present, feeling well. 1, you're coming back. 2, 3. Okay, it'll take a couple more sessions to get him back really good, but I was hoping to get someone that would because oftentimes we can pick on somebody that can go back like they're really there. We have some recordings of when interesting recordings from gatherings where we've done that. Okay, does anyone else have any thing they want to cover? We're near the end of our session here, and we'll do this again in the future and see where it goes. One thing that's kind of fun to do when you get somebody that's really goes back 100% is you can also take them into future lives, which is a projected future, and you get some interesting things there.
Hey, JJ, quick question.
Yeah.
William here again. The it's unmuted. The I noticed the ringing in my ears went away. during the meditation. Is there any significance of that?
Is it, was it just during the meditation?
Yeah, it seems like I'm not hearing it now as well.
Well,
It's
it could be
faint.
some,
It's faint, but not as loud.
could be some type of inner sound that you're you know, people pick up different inner sounds during, sometimes some people pick up the sound of the Om even, and that did it sound a little bit like an Om?
No, it just it's more of to where I could hear better.
Huh, yeah.
Better than usual.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, sometimes people pick up different sounds in meditation, so you never know. I don't know if there's, it would have to be something you'd interpret for yourself as to any meaning behind it, but it's just probably the fact that you picked up some vibration. It could have no great meaning at all. It's just that you happen to, just like tuning in an old TV set, you get some static sometimes, you know, and it doesn't really mean anything except you're just tuning it in.
Excuse me, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
William, did you say that the ringing in your ears that you always have stopped in meditation, or that you picked it up in meditation? William, can you hear me?
I think he said he picked it up.
It
I thought he,
stopped.
it
It
stopped.
stopped.
Oh, your ringing in your ears stopped?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you said it started.
Sorry if I wasn't clear.
Oh.
Sometimes I talk in circles.
So do you have a ringing in your ear problem overall?
Yeah, usually my ears ring all the time. It's
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I got that completely backwards then. So
sometimes it's worse than other times.
well, good. Then yeah, you often have healing factors enter in meditation. So that's a good sign then. Okay, I'm glad I got that straightened out. So and a lot of times during our meditation, I know this is your first one, but we focus on healing quite often. And so in future meetings, you may experience some good benefits from that. Okay, any other comments before we sign off?
JJ, I have a comment.
Sure.
I thought it was interesting when I went back to the 3 lifetimes. When we came back to the present, I don't remember what happened in the second one. Like I keep trying to find it, but I knew I went back somewhere, but when I came back to the present, it didn't stay. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Okay, well, if you guys want to hang around another few minutes, we could take Liesl back and recall that. You want to do that?
Sure.
Okay. Are you comfortable?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody put themselves on mute except for Liesl. I'm going to count to 3, and you will be back in the same state you were during the meditation. Have a little, you sound like you got a little background there.
You know, I'm closed in my room, but my kids are being kind of loud. I'm gonna see.
That's all right.
The door.
That's all right, as long as you can ignore their voices.
Most of the time I
can. Okay, let's try it anyway. Okay, relax completely. Just listen to my voice, only to my voice. Ignore any other outward sounds. 1, you're going very deep into the meditative state. 2, deeper, deeper. 3, you're back where you were before. And now you're going deeper still. On the count of 3, you will be deeper than before. 1, 2, deeper, deeper. 3, you're one with your inner self. You're going back to that lifetime in question. You will see what you saw then, feel what you felt then, and experience what you experienced then. On the count of 3, you will be there. 1, 2, 3. Who are you?
The name isn't coming.
I'm going to count to 3 and the name will come. 1. It's coming. 2. Becoming clearer. 3. Who are you?
Antonio,
Where are you?
in the ocean.
Are you in a ship?
Yes.
Where are you going to?
I don't know.
Are you male or female?
Male.
Male Antonio. Tell me about yourself.
I'm young and in my 20s. Single. Searching for something. I don't know what.
Okay. Very good. We may explore this later, but I'm going to count to 3, and this time you will return with a perfect memory of this life. It will come to you throughout this next week. More details will come. 1, you're coming back to the present with a full memory. 2, 3. Okay, do you remember better now?
Yeah, I remember it now. That's interesting.
Okay, very good.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, well, when we went over time here and appreciate everybody. Any other comments or before we sign off? Okay, we'll see you guys next week. The next meeting will be next Sunday at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, all being well. Good vibes, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, JJ.
Bye.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you, brother JJ.
Thank you. Oh.